Miranda Devine is a columnist with the New York Post. She's watched all this from the very beginning. She's got a PhD in the media business, having spent her life in it, and we're happy to have her join us now. Miranda, thanks so much for coming on. So it does seem to me like the media, once again, reporting a story 3 years late, is trying to get away from their responsibility for this disaster.
You're so right. It was crystal clear to everybody back in early 2020 in Iowa and New Hampshire, where Joe Biden was just woeful. He needed to cart around a teleprompter to the smallest town halls with the most, obvious stump speech that every other candidate could recite in their sleep. I watched as you look around the audience, and it just twigged to people that this guy was not all there, that there was a screw loose. He was really the special needs candidate. He was ignored. No one showed up to any of his events. It was an open secret in the media. He bottomed out in Iowa, number 4, number 5 in New Hampshire. And one of the main culprits that you left out of your very good list of culprits is James Clyburn, who used his authority in South Carolina among black voters to swing the vote behind Joe Biden and give him the momentum, because the Democratic Party had just decided, and Barack Obama as well, that Joe Biden had to be installed to beat Donald Trump, because he was the only one who had a sort of a moderate image. And he had a very carefully cultivated image that was a myth, that he was this unifying force, that he was an old Washington professional, a great foreign affairs expert, and a kind man, a family man, a decent man, a working class Joe, and full of empathy, which the country needed after COVID. None of that was true. And the problem for the Democratic Party was that as soon as voters, pretty much after Afghanistan, when Joe Biden was so callous, so dishonest and so incompetent, the American people saw, including Biden voters, saw who he really was. And I think once somebody that you have admired and respected, looked up to, trusted, once you realise that they're none of those things, that they're a liar, that they're possibly corrupt, that they lack empathy, then you can never go back. You recoil, and we're seeing that in polls, which are just woeful. I mean, just 29%, I think, of Democrat voters want Joe Biden to run again in 29. And of course, the media now sees that. They don't want to be on the losing side, and Joe Biden is surplus to requirements now. They don't need him. They can discard him, and they'll be brutal.
This is the CNN presidency, and they should forever live with that stain, I think. Miranda Devine, I appreciate your summation of that very much.
Thanks, Tucker.